Hi, welcome to this Chandra Krama moon sequence practice. This is going to be a short beginner-friendly version of the series that doesn't require any props. However, you do need to be able to sit comfortably on your heels like I am now. If that's a little bit uncomfortable, you might find that it helps to sit on one or even two blocks and to perhaps place a blanket underneath the knees, but otherwise no props needed. You just need to be able to sit comfortably this way. We will start coming to this kneeling position, bringing some awareness to the breath. We can close the eyes here and just breathing deeply in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, pause. Breathing out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, pause. In 1, 2, 3, pause. Out 1, 2, 3, pause. Continuing this for a few moments. Allowing our breath to be deep and even. As we move into our practice, we want to be able to keep this deep, even breathing, allowing each movement that we take to fill the entire space of an inhale or an exhale. So no rushed or sudden movements, keeping everything really slow, mindful. On the next inhale, we'll slowly reach the arms up parallel. And with an exhale, sliding forwards into a child's pose. With an inhale, rising up to the hands and the knees. And with an exhale, tuck your toes under, lifting the hips, moving into that first downward facing dog. Straight away dropping the knees down, lifting the tailbone, lifting the gaze. And with an exhale, coming back into child's pose. With an inhale, rising up into a high kneeling position, separate the feet, hands on the lower back. With an exhale, tuck your chin to the chest, keep your gaze forwards, and just think about lifting your ribs away from the belly button. Inhale, come back to neutral. And with an exhale, sitting back down, bringing the feet back together. So that was our first round of moon salutations. We'll do a few more like this. Inhaling, reaching the arms. Exhaling, coming to child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, tucking toes, lifting to downward facing dog. Inhaling to your hands and your knees with a back bend. Exhaling to child's pose. Inhale, high kneeling position, hands on the lower back. Exhale to lengthen. Hips can go a little bit forwards, but don't go back. Think about lifting up. Inhale to neutral. Exhaling to sit back down. Starting to find this rhythm, this flow. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale to child. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, hands and knees with a back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, high kneeling. Exhale, lifting the chest. Create that distance between belly button and ribs. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale to sit. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling, drop the knees, coming into that little back bend. Exhale, gliding back to child's. Inhale, hands and knees, high kneeling. Push the hips forwards, lifting up. Inhale, back to neutral. And exhaling, sitting back down. We'll add on a little bit now, taking Moon Salutation B. Inhaling, reach the arms parallel. Exhaling, forward into child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. With an inhale, step your left foot forwards, come to a low lunge. Exhaling, bring the hands to the waist. Keep the tailbone tucked. Don't make it super expressive. Keep everything tucked. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring those hands down. With an inhale, step back to a downward facing dog, but you're high up on your tippy toes with the heels lifted. And then on the exhale, we really, really slowly lower those heels down, as slowly as we can go, like you're moving through mud. And then inhaling, stepping the right foot forwards, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale, the hands go down. Inhale, step back to that tippy toe dog. And with an exhale, really slowly lowering those heels. Inhale, drop it down, hands and knees with the back bend. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling to high kneeling, separate the feet, push the hips a little bit more forwards. Now we can start to go back just a little bit, but still keep your gaze forwards. Inhale, back to neutral. And exhaling, sitting back down. Inhale, arms parallel. Exhale, child. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling, left foot forwards. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, the arms reach. See if you can get them in line with your ears. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, tippy toe dog. Exhale, slowly lowering the heels. Inhale, right foot forwards. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhaling, hands go down. Inhale, tippy toe dog. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, hands and knees, arch the spine. Exhaling, child pose. Inhale, high kneeling, separate the feet. Exhale, gentle back bend, lift. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhaling, sit down on the feet. Inhale, arms parallel. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot forwards first on this round. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, tippy toe dog. Exhale, lowering the heels. Inhaling, left foot forwards now. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower the heels nice and slow. Inhale, hands and knees. Take that back bend, gazing up. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, high kneeling. Exhale, take that back bend. Nothing too deep. Inhale, back to neutral. And exhaling, sitting back down. Taking one more round. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, sliding forwards, child's pose. Inhale to the hands and the knees. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping your right foot forwards. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, taking your hands down. Inhale, tippy toe dog. Exhaling, lowering those heels. Inhaling the left foot steps. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, taking your hands down. Inhaling, tippy toe dog. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, hands and knees with a back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, high kneeling, hands to the lower back. Exhale, little back bend. Inhale, back to neutral. And exhaling, sitting back down onto the feet. So we're going to move now into our standing poses. Once again, we inhale, arms parallel. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhale to the hands and the knees. And with an exhale, tuck the toes under, lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking forwards, step your left foot forwards in between the hands. Turn that back foot out, 45-degree angle, preparing to come up into our triangle pose. So lift up and bring your left hand to just below the left knee. We're not trying to be down low near the ankle or the foot. You want to be just below the knee. Taking your right hand to your right hip and then up. You can either gaze straight ahead or up towards that top hand. We don't want to collapse down into this arm that's on the leg, so you might even find it useful to just let go and allow that hand to be free. Bring your right hand back to your waist. Bend your left leg. Bring your left elbow to your left knee and take that right foot a little bit back as we prepare for our side angle now. And here we're just going to take that right arm straight up and look at the bicep. Place your hands down, now frame that front foot. Step the left foot back, tippy-toe dog, and a slow lowering of those heels. Stepping the right foot between the hands now. Again, turn that back foot out. Rising up and bring your right hand just below the knee, opening the left arm up, looking either to the hand or straight ahead. Staying with that 1, 2, 3 pause as we move through each of these poses. Bringing your left hand to the waist now. Bend the right leg, separate the feet a little bit more. Right elbow to right knee, left hand to the waist, and then opening that left arm up and looking towards your bicep. If that is too much for the head or the neck, just keep the gaze straight ahead. Always modify your practice however you need to, listening to your body. Placing those hands down, now frame that front foot. Stepping back to your tippy-toe dog, and then a slow lowering of the heels. With an inhale, step your left foot forwards again. Back heel grounds. And bring both your hands to the shin just below the knee, coming into a flat back position and holding here. Staying with that deep, steady breath in and out through your nose. 1, 2, 3, pause. With each inhale, with each exhale. Placing your hands down, stepping back onto the tiptoes. Exhale as we slowly lower the heels. With an inhale, stepping your right foot forwards, back heel grounds. Bringing both hands to the shin just below the knee. Holding and maintaining this flat back positioning, not trying to fold down, but just remaining lifted. Placing your hands down, stepping back, lifting up on the toes. Exhaling, slowly lower the heels. Taking an extra breath or two here in downward facing dog. With an inhale, step the left foot forwards between the hands again. Coming up into a high lunge. So we stay lifted on those back toes, but the back heel lifting up towards the ceiling, not pushing back, but lifting. Hands are on the waist, just look straight ahead. And a little bit tucking your tailbone under, finding a little bit of bite through that right hip flexor. Now lifting those arms up parallel. See if you can get them in line with your ears. Doesn't matter if you can't, but working in that direction. See if we can get a little bit lower in the legs. Exhale, bring the hands down. Stepping back, tippy toe dog. And exhale, lowering the heels. Stepping the right foot forwards. Again, rise up into that high lunge position, keeping the back heel lifting. Tailbone tucking under. Going a little bit lower in the legs. And reaching the arms up. Exhaling, hands down. Inhaling, stepping back on the toes. Exhale, lowering the heels. Inhale, drop the knees down, take that back bend. And with an exhale, moving into our child's pose. Staying here for a few moments. Allowing yourself to breathe deeply. Feeling the skin on the lower back spreading. From here, inhale, come back up onto your hands and the knees. Exhale to downward facing dog. And then we'll step through to seated. So you could do this by crossing one leg down, then the other, sitting back and rolling through. If that doesn't work for you, drop down to the knees, take the legs out to the side. No right or wrong way to get here, really, just making our way through to seated. Now bending the left leg. Bringing the heel in towards the sit bone, letting that knee fall open to the side, and then taking both hands to the right leg. Not going too far here. You're probably going to start off closer to the knee. We want to keep the body extended and upright. It's not about folding forwards. It's a lifting. And then we drop just the chin and the gaze down. For our next variation here, we want to allow this bent left knee to move a little bit further back if it can. Our right hand is going to come to the inside of the right leg, and the left hand wraps around the back, maybe grabbing hold of the hip or the thigh, but don't worry if you don't get there. And again, we're not trying to go forwards. This is quite an upright twisting position. If this straight leg is a little bit uncomfortable, you could always place like a rolled up blanket or a towel or something underneath the knee just to take some of that pressure out. Now we're going to take the right hand either to the mat, or maybe we bring the elbow down. Again, we don't need to come too far forwards, but we bring the left hand to the back of the head and start to lift the elbow up, lengthening through the side waist, through the side ribs. You want to try and keep that elbow pointing straight up to the ceiling rather than starting to collapse inwards. Keep that really open. Let's release. We bring this knee forwards as we square the chest forwards over that straight leg again. This time our left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. The right hand wrapping around the back. Again, you might find the hip, you might find the leg. Don't worry if you don't. Just sitting upright, twisting as far as you can go, gaze going as far around as you're able to. Inhaling to release. Finally, we'll fold forwards, but the straight extended spine here is far more important than just going forwards as far as you can. So I would encourage you to start off with a bent leg, interlacing the fingers around the shin and extending forward like this. If you are more flexible, you might find yourself going forwards a little bit more with a straight leg, but there really is no rush to get there. And for most students, this is usually much more effective at improving the alignment and the flexibility over time. And inhaling, release. We'll take a moon vinyasa now. So we cross the legs here, holding onto the feet or the ankles, and then gently rolling down. If that's a bit sore on the spine, you could put a towel or a blanket underneath. We then take the legs straight up in the air, holding for a breath or two here. and then into a happy baby pose. So letting the legs go wide, letting the knees come wide of the upper body and the soles of the feet point up towards the ceiling. If you can't hold the feet yet, don't worry, just holding on to the outside of your lower legs instead. You might feel like you're rounding a little bit here. That's quite normal, but as much as possible, try and keep both your head down and feel like you're lengthening your tailbone down towards the mat. Releasing that, place your feet down, palms down, lifting the hips, coming into baby bridge, holding for a breath or two here. Release the hips down, and again, cross and hold your feet or your legs and roll up to seated. We'll take that all again on the other side. So legs extend, bring your right heel in, let that knee fall open. We'll start with the hands somewhere on the shin, not too far, nothing too deep. And just allow the chin and the gaze to drop down. Twisting now. Allow that right knee to move a little further back. Left hand coming onto the inner left leg. Right arm wrapping around the back. Might find the hip, might find the leg, but even if you're just somewhere here, taking it to where you're able to, finding a nice stretch for you, but not feeling too stressed, not causing any pain. We want to stay again quite upright and extended with the spine here. And releasing that twist. So now we take the left hand, maybe the forearm down, right hand behind the head, taking a gentle stretch through the side waist, through the side body, keeping that right elbow pointing straight up and not collapsing inwards. Keep the chest open. Inhaling, release. We'll bring this right knee forward again as we re-square the body. Taking now the right hand to the outer left leg. Left arm wrapping around, sitting upright and twisting, allowing yourself to maintain deep, steady breathing. So if you find that in a twist you feel as though you can't breathe or it's become much shorter, you're holding the breath, those are usually a good indication to just ease off that little bit, allowing yourself to breathe deeply. Deep breaths tell our nervous system that what we're doing is okay, it's safe, and then that allows the relaxation and the progress to happen over time versus using force and aggression, in which case the nervous system will lock up and resist even more next time. And releasing. And finally, we'll take that forward bend, whether it's with a bent knee or a straight leg. Not rounding, but keeping that sense of extension. Let's release. We'll take one more moon vinyasa. Crossing those legs, rolling down. Taking the legs straight up, palms resting on the thighs. Pausing for a moment here. Then into our happy baby. Placing the feet down, palms down, lift the hips, baby bridge. And exhale, release down. Cross your legs, rolling up to seated. So usually our moon sequence practice would be quite a bit longer, taking around an hour and a half. There would be a few more standing poses, definitely quite a lot more seated poses, and usually some back bends at the end. But today we are going to keep it nice and gentle, nice and short. So we'll move straight into legs up the wall. So add any extra layers that you need, socks, jumpers, whatever you need to feel nice and warm and comfortable. And then find yourself a space on the wall. If you don't have a wall nearby or usable, then just lying down on your back, wide legs, wide arms, taking Shavasana. To get the legs up the wall, slide in sideways, get nice and close, and then pivot round. You can take any extra adjustments here to get in nice and close. And if you did have props, a strap around the thighs, sandbags over the arms, or even a sandbag on the feet, really helps you just to settle in and relax here. Make sure that you spend at least 10 minutes here, but if you've got longer and the time to really enjoy, then feel free to spend as long as you want lying here. As you lie here, I would encourage you to keep the focus and the awareness by returning back to breathing 1, 2, 3. Pause with each inhale, with each exhale, allowing the body to rest but the mind to stay present. Thank you for practicing this Chandra Krama series with me today. I hope to see you in another Vinyasa Krama class soon.